Hello all and welcome to season 20 of Apex this Tuesday night racing. We're racing the MX5 tonight at Okayama International Circuit on a hot track. Our temperature for the track is 120 degrees, so it's a little slippy and slidey out there. My name is Unimportant, and we have, how many people did we have start tonight's first race of the season? 25, it looks like, with Roman Bykov taking the pole position. So I want to say thank you to our partners, Apex Sim Racing, Full Speed Sim Coaching, Get Good Racing, and J. Cooper Electric. Information on them can be found in our on our website at apexthis.racing and also our Discord channel. So thanks for joining us. Let's where do we start here? Let's get ready to get this race started. So when we start our races here, the green flag calls it. The pole sitter does not get to decide when to go. So the pace car will be ducking into the pit lane. There he goes. And now we get a nice slow run to the green flag. Everybody's lining up nicely. They have a rule in this league that everybody has to stay in line until the green flag flies. And then all hell breaks loose. Oh, we've got someone late to the party. They're off and running. Here we go. Heading into turn one. So far, so good. I hear a little banging and crashing back there, but so far it looks like people are making through. Oh, there's a spinner. We'll come back to that here in just a little bit. Let's follow our leaders. We've got Kelly Greenhoe that's gone around Roman Bykov for the lead. Brian Lemke in third. Jason Guerra in fourth. Heading down the long run into the tight little hairpin down here. Let's see what happens. These two get through it nicely. Jump back in the crowd a little bit here to Spencer. So far, so good. Here's John Miller in 12th place ahead of Kenny Teal. I still hear, oh, there's another spinner. John Cooper went off track. Let's go back to our leader here. Looks like Kelly is still in the lead. Brian Lemke is now second. Roman Bykov has dropped back to third. And now as they snake down the straightaway here, these cars punch a big hole, and draft is very important. If you lose the draft, it's hard to catch back up to the cars in front of you. So everybody's line astern here for the most part. Got a pack in front. Heading down to that hairpin again. And they make it through. While this is going on, let's take a quick jump back and actually no. I think what I'm going to do is What we're going to do here a little bit different today. The trailer just told me that we're going to cover the incidents at the end. So that's what we'll do. We'll just follow the racing for right now. I like it. Thank you guys in the trailer. All right, we're snaking down. We've got, good grief, what do we got, about a dozen in this lead pack? Here's this, I think that's turn 2 from Spencer's viewpoint. Kurt Moss. This is the battle of the yellow cars here. Kurt trying to find his way around Kent.
I'll just run with you if you want, man.
Now, let's keep going to.
Let's jump up here. We've got Roman and Jason. Oh, Roman gets loose. Big time loose there. Got it gathered up, but he's going to lose some positions because of it. Cause a little bit of chaos through this next series of turns.
Yep.
As people try and find a way around him. It's like Kurt Moss is going to try him on the inside here. And then we go back to the outside. Kurt's going to have 2 more outside turns. Let's see what he can do here. Looks like he has, oh, Roman is still slipping and sliding, so. It's going to duck to the inside of Kurt Moss. And John shows a nose to Kent. Is he, oh, no. He drifted out, caught Jake, and took himself out of the race. Too bad. He was having a rough time there. It looked like his car was really loose. It's a very hot track tonight. So let's see here. We've got Brian Zen and Spencer. Nose to tail. Heading into the hairpin, see if Brian can make a move on Spencer. Spencer leaves roofs for him. So he'll have the inside here. Have the inside on the next one. Oh, he makes it. Looks like Brian had to get on the brakes just a touch, just to make sure he didn't get into the back of him. And now Kent is right on the rear end of Brian. That's some super close racing here. Follow this 4-pack for a while. Leaders up front are good to go with about a half-second gap between Kelly and Brian Lemke. But this group is racing hard. Spencer, Brian Zen, Kent, John Miller. Jake has come into the party. Tim is getting closer. John is right on the backside of Kent. As we head down into the hairpin. I have a feeling this could get spicy. Spencer ducks out, see if he can make a move on Brian. Whole thing from Kent's viewpoint. Oh, ouch. like who's... I see Jake going off track there. Someone sounds like it got into the back of Kent. As I said, we'll cover these incidents at the end of the race. So we've got Kelly Greenhoe, P1, Brian Lemke in P2, Jason hanging out there in P3, then Spencer, Brian Zen, Kent, John Miller, Kurt Moss, Kenny Teal in P9. Let's jump back there and take a look at Kenny. And then behind him is Tim, Michael Bond, Craig Tessiter, Ian Corella, Craig Thompson, Joseph Mayer, Donald Mensing. John Cooper has dropped back to 17th. Mark Valenti, Hugh Hale, Riley, Samuel Torres, Roman Bykov is bringing up the rear. Jump back here to the front with Kelly and Brian Lemke. It's like they're keeping that gap pretty consistent. Here's John Miller and Kurt Moss. Whoa, John gets loose. That car's a handful. I heard him say early on he was talking to his pit crew. He wanted to get more on-throttle oversteer. Well, he's got it now. Here they come. Down the straight. Here we've got Kurt Moss on the backside of Kent. Hard to tell from the back of Kent's car. The front side is yellow, so we are back in the battle of the yellow cars. Looks like Kent's going to give him room into that corner, make sure they don't tag each other. And Kurt Moss is going to have position into the hairpin here on the inside. Like instead of fighting that, Kent's going to get on his tail, try not to lose time in their battle. Sometimes you just battle too much and you end up losing time to the cars behind you, and everybody catches up to you. In these cars, that whole draft, it's sometimes better to just save the battle for later in the race. We're only on lap 7. We are 12 minutes into this 20-minute race. Feels like we've been doing this longer. Let's check back here. Donald Mensing, John Cooper, Joseph Mayer, Kenny Teal, Craig Thompson is coming up on Ian. And we've got Craig Tessiter off here on his own. Tim following Michael Bond. We're doing back to front here. John Miller is following Kent. We've got Kent in P7, Kurt Moss, P6, Spencer in P5, and he and Brian Zinn are heading to the hairpin. Let's see what happens here. It's like Spencer has got a little bit of a, he's just looked to be a little nervous about diving over there and cutting Brian off, so being careful. Now Brian does a crossover. Let's see what happens here. Brian holds it to the inside. Spencer gets outside, a little wide on that corner. Now you see John making a move on Kent. So Brian Zinn does end up getting around Spencer. Then Jason, still third in this little party. Looks like he has caught up to these others. Kelly Greenhoe and Brian Lemke. So I believe last time we checked, Kelly was in the lead, so Brian has gotten around Kelly. Brian and Kelly in the MX5s are usually towards the front, so you usually find them somewhere between P1 and P3 most often. Jason, I believe, is a new member. I'm not 100% certain. My memory is not what it used to be, but I do believe Jason is a new member, and he is putting on a hell of a good race. With these other two. Jump back here. Spencer and Brian Zinn are still battling it out. And that is allowing Kurt Moss to get closer and closer to their little battle. See if he can inject himself into this fight. Same move as before. Yep. Brian's going to hold it to the inside, only this time Spencer does not get a little loose, so he stays in front of Brian. Kurt Moss hot on his tail. There's a little view from Brian Zinn's nose cam. And let's see what's going on behind him. Kurt Moss. And looks like they're coming up on a slower car here that moves over. Very nicely done there. That's Hale handling that nice. You're getting past, just drive your line. That's what they always say. Just continue on the normal line. In that case, he got over early enough to allow the other cars to know what he was going to do. Because oftentimes, if you don't drive your line and you make late moves, then the car behind you has already planned how they're going to pass you, and all of a sudden that goes out the window. Here we go again. Spencer and Brian have fought this corner side by side for at least the last 3 laps we've watched them. Who knows how many before that. Spencer had issues on that corner. He is going to lose 2 positions. And John is getting into the mix now. As they head into the long straight. Let's see if Spencer can find his way to Kurt. We've got another, I'm going to drop back here, we've got another close battle right here between Tim and Kent. Looks like Tim may have had a little issue around that corner. Lost a little time to these two. Kent has John Miller just on his rear end. You see a little damage on that front right corner of Kent's car. Not helping his aero at all. John's thinking about it. He was going to dive to the inside, but Kent was drifting to the inside to try and hold him off. But John's going to brake late. Kent's going to brake later. Now John's going to have the inside here. And off they go. I think we're getting pretty close to the last lap. Could this be checkered flag? Nope, I don't see Barney doing anything. I didn't even see a white flag that time around. I thought it might be. So let's jump back here to Kent and John. Michael Bond. Actually, John Miller's further ahead. So this is Mike Bond, Kent, and Tim. I think this next lap will be the white flag lap. And this, let's see here, there's another close battle up here between Spencer and John Miller. And if we jump up front, I think this is how this one's going to end. There's just a little bit too much room between these three cars. That Jason might have an opportunity to get around Kelly Greenhoe, but he's going to show his nose out there. So I think we'll see the white flag this time around. Here they come. That was the checkered flag. Oh my God. Well, I didn't even see a white flag last time around. So let's follow it. This is the next batch. Looks like Mike Bond gets through late. Kent and Tim Helvelka are just, oh, yowzers. That was close. Tim just put a nose ahead of Kent right at the finish there. Let's jump back here. We've got Donald Mensing coming in. Joseph Mayer behind him. Mark Valenti. Riley Walker. Let's take a look at our grid here. Excuse me, our results. So, Brian Lemke, then Kelly Greenhoe, Jason, Brian Zinn, Kurt Moss, Spencer, Tim. Let's see here. Oh my gosh, look at that. It says 20.451 for Tim Helvelka, 20.455 for Kent. That's a damn close finish. And then Craig Tessiter, Craig Thompson, Ian Carrillo, Donald, Joseph, John Miller, Michael Bond, Mark Valente, Riley Walker, Jake Spidell, John Cooper, Roman Bykov, Sam Torres. It's a lap down. Hugh Hale, Kenny Teal.
I was too busy watching him. It just didn't get on the gas.
Thomas Wright, Tony Phillips, and Troy Banks. I'm not sure he even started. Said he's 12 laps down. All right. Well, they're going to take a little bit of break here. We're not going to. And instead, we're going to
That was
get
just
right
warm-up.
into race 2, which will be another 20-minute race. So see you in just a second. Hello again. I hope everybody stayed around after the finish of the last race. Here we are again. We're starting our second 20-minute race. We've inverted the top 6 from the previous race to add a little spice to this chili.
That's airmail turn.
So they are once again going to get lined up nose to tail for this start. Nope, there's a hefty gap there on that left side. That's not good. Painful for the cars behind him, but everybody else is following their little rows, and off they go. Race 2. Hey, it would be nice if we saw the people in the race. Here we go. All right, coming through turn 1. See if we make it through turn 2 here. So far, so good. There's the battle of the yellow cars. We had that in our first race. Looks like they are going to be back at it in the second race. We are still side by side, heading into the hairpin. You know why they call them hairpins? Because this is going to get hairy. Making it through, making it happen. Further back in the field, they are still side by side as well. There's just racing going on. This is just insanity. Jump back here. This is Mike Bond, P9 right now. Get his perspective. I see Brian Zinn out there well ahead of the group. That'll be handy. He can break the draft of Spencer behind him. And then we've got Kelly Greenhoe, Kent, and Brian Lemke in this little group. Oh, Kent spins out. He was to the inside of Kelly there, and just it's like he carried too much speed through that corner and lost it. Being on the inside there, he should have just drifted off the speed a little bit more.
I don't think I had anything to do with that, did I, Ken?
There's Kelly
Other than you
asking if he caused that. No, that was all Kent. So, back at the front, we have Brian Zinn with a hefty margin out ahead. And then Spencer, who was in our lead group in our last race. Brian Lemke, Kelly Greenhoe, Kurt Moss is here. Mike Bond is making a showing at P6 right now. John Cooper holding down P7. He had a rough race 1. John Mayer also had a rough race 1. He's in P8. They're looking good. Jason, who finished P3 in the previous race, is P9 here. There's John Miller in P10. Kenny behind him. I seem to remember that from the first race. And we've got Tony Phillips, Roman Bykov. There's Roman. Jake. Tim Havelka. Craig. Thomas Wright. Watch Thomas carve through this corner. Hale right behind him. Then there's Mark Valenti, Riley, Greg Tessiter, Ian, and Kent bringing up the rear from his little spin. Oh, looks like John. I see some, we'll cover, oh, I missed covering. I missed covering the incidents from race 1. Sorry, I said I was going to and then didn't. I got too excited about getting right into race 2. Maybe we'll toss them in at the end of this race. How about that? We'll do that. We'll toss all the incidents from race 1 and race 2 into the end of this whole deal. We had broadcasters who would cover our races. Previously had a section at the end of their races they called Chaos Theory. I'm not going to steal that, but they would show those accidents and have a darn good time doing it. So we've got Brian Zinn in the lead here, Spencer following him, then Brian Lemke. Pretty good gaps between these. Kelly has Kurt Moss behind Tim and Michael Bond behind Kurt Moss. Then we've got John Cooper, Jason, John Miller, Tony Phillips, Kenny Teal, and Roman Bykov. Have a little battle here. Let's jump into this one and see what happens. Roman making a late dive, carrying way too much speed through that corner. Yowzers. Track is hot. You aren't. So, can't carry that much speed and expect those tires on the front end to hold. So now he has Tim Hivaka right on his tail. It's the fun part of this league's 20 and 20 race formats is that if you have a bad race in the first one, you get an opportunity to give it another shot right away in another 20-minute race. So then you can do like Kent, have a fairly good race in race 1 and throw the second race away. I think I'd rather throw the first race away and then have a good second race and leave the night feeling good. So this is good little battle here. Are we going to be 3 wide into here? Not quite. John and John. John got ahead of John. Let's jump back up here to our leaders. They are holding steady. Not a lot happening up here. Got about 18 minutes left here. We'll see if they work this out. And then there's the second batch. Back here, John and John. Looks like John Cooper got around John Miller. And Hoop is going to hang on to that for right now. Putting on a heck of a show. John Miller gets his nose out there. Gives something for Cooper to look at. And Tony Phillips is just following those two, just ready to pick up the pieces. See another tight little battle back here. Looks like Roman is pressuring Jake. He's going to dive to the inside, see if he can make something happen. He holds the speed this time, doesn't go too fast, too wide. But Jake is going to hold him to the outside. If they stay side by side like this, Roman will have the inside on this corner. That's the one he went wide on one few laps back. This time he holds it. And they are going to stay side by side, coming into the hairpin. All right, let's see what happens. We've got another little battle up here. Looks like Tony Phillips is working in himself into the John and John show. Oh, I heard a little bang in there. Looks like they did get through it. Let's jump up here where we've got a little action up at the front. Things are getting tighter. Everybody is getting closer together, able to use that draft a little bit more. You can stay within the draft of the MX5 ahead of you. You can really make up some time on these long straights. But if you lose that draft, you're in big trouble. Looks like Brian Lemke made a pass on Spencer right there, and Kurt Moss is thinking about a pass. We're now 11 minutes into this 20-minute race, so they've still got time to work this out. Don't have to get this all done right now. Let's jump back a little further and see what we've got. I see Jake, Kenny Thiel, and Roman Bykov. Jake is going to try and get around Kenny Thiel, but he takes that corner super wide and loses time to Roman, who is going to get around him because of that. Ouch. Just carried a little bit too much speed in there. He might have been trying to be safe, overly cautious. Mike Bond is pressuring Kurt Moss here. The intensity just seems to be ramping up among this little group. They are just seeing the end of this race coming in, what, 6.5 minutes? 7.5 minutes. So, yeah, they are feeling the need for speed. Jump back here, see we've got the John and John show. They are still going at it. Tony Phillips hanging out there, waiting for the chaos to happen. So he can pick up the pieces. Yeah, old song. And I'm not a singer. Oh, what's going to happen here? Seen that before, where the outside car on that hairpin just leaves a little bit too much room for the inside car and loses some time because of it. Everybody's being careful. Nobody wants, at this point, wants to get caught up on a wreck and lose all the time and effort they put in to get to this point. Oh, I saw Tony Phillips spin out there. Not sure he got touched by anybody, but he did lose that position. Jump back up here to front. Brian's in. Brian Lemke, Spencer, Kelly, Kurt Moss, Mike Bond still holding position, but Brian Lemke is caught up to Brian Zinn. Zinn had a nice lead out in front of him, but it's out by himself. Whereas the cars behind him had a little bit of draft there, so eventually they can catch up, which they've done. Coming into the last 5 minutes of this race. They are just side by side. Brian Lemke ducks out.
I can't see, but I know you're there.
Spencer is holding to the inside. Nice pass. Brian Lemke does a nice job through there. So now we've got a new leader, Brian Lemke. Brian Zinn in P2, Spencer in P3. And that looks like that could change here. We've got Kelly, sort of, in P4. But making a bid for P3. Kurt Moss is getting into the picture here. Mike Bond is just hanging back there waiting for something to happen. And here we go again. They all spread out, seeing if they can make something happen. Kurt Moss is going to do the over-under nicely. It sounded like those Kelly and Spencer may have banged fenders there a little bit, which slowed them down. And Kurt Moss makes that inside move for P3. Michael Bond making a move there. Mike now in P4. He's going to make his bid to get on the podium. He's going to have his work cut out for him because Spencer has not given up on getting that position back. So if they hold form, let's jump back here and see how the John and John show is going on. Looks like John Miller has gotten around Cooper. Roman Bykov has got himself up in there. Gets a little loose in the grass. Roman on the tail of John Miller. Hang on to it, Roman. And then he's got John Cooper right on his tail. If you look at that front right wheel get up in the air. All right, let's get up here to this. Mike Bond has made it up to P3. So we've got Brian Lemke, Brian Zinn, Mike Bond is now in P3. Spencer right behind him.
That would tell Thomas to try to hold you up, and I thought my rearview mirror, both your cars go spinning across the track.
Mike's gonna hang it on the inside. They are going to remain nose to tail. Jump back here and see what other little battles we might have going on. See how the John and Roman and John, they all, at least 2 out of the 3 got loose going around that last corner. And Cooper loses a position. I seem to remember this view. I see a battle going on back here too with Tim and Kenny. Oh, they made it through. Just got a little tight there on that corner. They get through it. There is a lot of good racing going on up and down the field here. It's usually the way it works in this league. Even if you get behind a little bit, you often still have someone you can race with. Jump back up to the front here. We are on the final lap. Coming to the checkered flag. Looks like Brian Lemke is going to hold that position. Yes, he is. Behind him, got Michael Bond coming in P3. Spencer will hold his position. And we jump back here. Here's Jason, John Miller, Roman Bykov. Craig Tessiter, Joseph Mayer. There's Hugh Hale, Mark Valenti, Riley. Uh-oh. Who was that? Ian, final lap. Got a little loose there. And Thomas Wright. All right, let's take a look at our results here. So we've got Brian Lemke, Brian's in. Michael, let you read through those. I want to give a shout out to our sponsors, Apex Sim Racing, for all your immersive racing gear. Use the link in the description below, and the league will get a little credit for your purchase. And they're also giving away gift certificates to our lucky racers this season. Those will be given away. One will be given away during a race upcoming. And if you're in that race, then you'll have opportunity to win that gift certificate. Full Speed Sim Coaching. Help you get faster. They are also giving away sim coaching sessions. Again, be giving one away in an upcoming race. Actually, I think we're giving 3 away, but in individual races. So then we've got Get Good Racing, another coaching service that can help you get faster. And John Cooper Electric, who is you actually saw him racing earlier. He's a member and gives back to the league by being a sponsor. So, all right, let's get set up to watch the incidents. It's the first time that this particular thing is going to happen with me, so good luck. Let's see how it goes. All right, here, let's get started with covering some of the incidents that happened in the previous 2 races. So I'm going to leave it to you guys. You can leave a comment down below to tell me what we ought to call this little section of the broadcast. I'm not clever enough to come up with a good name, so let's just dive right into it here. So it looks like we have to start out here an incident between Michael Bond, Kenny Teal, John Cooper. Mike Bond stuck in the middle between those two. Oh, and gets pinched and spins and bam, takes out a hefty number of cars. So looks like not sure who else. Oh, Joseph Mayer got caught up in that as well. Then let's jump up here to, what do we got? This is my first time doing this, so it's going to take me a little bit to figure out how this thing works. All right. Oh, he just got caught up in that same little incident. Got a little P2 out of that. So let's jump ahead here to lap 4. Roman Bykov, Kurt Moss. Nope, it's not going to give me the link I need to make that work. So how about this one? Let's take a look at this lap 5 incident. I seem to remember seeing this one. Here's John coming up on Kent. Oh, John gets in a little deep, punches Kent in the back, then takes a right. There's a car coming through, bounces off him, bounces off Kent, and looks like Jake caught the worst of that. I saw him pull off. So yeah, tells me here he got a meatball flag, so that was too bad. Now, I see one here for you. Is it going to give me the, yeah, there they are. There's the details of this one. Also P5. Let's see what happened here. Oh, Thomas Wright spins in front. Nowhere to go. Bam. There you go. Nice seeing ya. Then we go through a long stretch here until we get to lap 10 with Joseph Mayer and Kenny Teal. It's like, oh, nope. I see just, oh, there's Kenny making a late arrival into it. Yeah, that was a heavy dive into that. Let's watch that from Kenny's perspective. Long way back. Yowzers. Yeah. He tried. He tried. And here we are. Let's take a look at lap 10. Seeing something here between maybe Mike Bond and Kent. See what happened here. That's let's jump back and take another look at that. What the heck happened here? So we are on, which lap are we on here? Lap 10. Take a look at this from Kenny's perspective, or excuse me, Mike Bond's perspective. Oh, Kent. It's like he just took that corner. Looked like Mike got a little loose, and then he had problems, and then Kent had problems, and they both tried too hard. One more time. Let's get up close and personal. So Mike goes off. Oh, and that just probably flustered Kent a little bit. He went in too deep. All right, and then we've got, let's see, Ian here. See if I can find this. Here we go. Somebody's coming up fast. Joseph Mayer punched him in the back there. Take a look at that from Joseph's perspective. It's like Ian was just a little slow around that corner, and Joseph didn't expect that. That happens. And then we've got lap 10, John Miller. John and Spencer. Let's see if we can't get another little view of that one here. So John gets into the back of Kurt, Spencer gets into the side of John, and everybody makes it through. And John again, lap 13. John, he's didn't race with us for at least a season, maybe more, and it just looks like he's having a hard time getting back into the groove. So let's see what happens after the race, he just, clobbers the podium picture, and we frown on that because now the league admin has to go in and remove those incident points from the guys that were stopped there. So if you race with us, when you're done with the race, just make a lap, and then you can have your fun because everybody will be done by then. All right, let's take a look at the second race. Let me find that here. Here we go. So when does the first incident happen? I mean, we've got a lot of 1Xs, people going off. Here's Riley Walker having a little kerfuffle on lap 3. Take a look at that. Whoa, whoa, yowzers. Who got in there? I think that was Craig Tessiter, got in just a little hot. Used Riley as a, what do they say? Eight tires are better to get around a corner than 4. So let's take a look here. Here's Craig's perspective. Oh, he makes a dive from a long ways back, gets in the grass. And if Riley wasn't there, he would have been off track. So he's using Riley as help him get around that corner. So here we go, lap 6, John Miller doing John Miller things again. Yep, into the back of Tony Phillips. That's a 4X. And what do we got here? We got Kent and Thomas Wright coming around there. Oh, yowzers. Let's take another look at that one. Let's see. How about we look at it from this perspective? Coming out of that final turn, and it looks like Thomas just didn't get quite as good as exit as Kent did. Here, let's do it this way. Let's back it up and look at it. Figure out how to do all this stuff. So here we go. So which lap are we on? We are on lap 10. So one more lap and they come to the checkered flag. So this is on the white flag lap. Let's take a look at what happens here. Thomas getting through there. Kent right on his tail. Yeah, Kent just gets a little better exit. And just got into the back. Ruined both their races. All right, let's see if we got any others or if that is it. And that is it. All right, there you go. That's the final mess that happened in those 2 races. Hope you enjoyed the broadcast today. And we'll see you on Thursday night for our Porsche Cup, or as we call it, the P Cup racing. And don't remember which track we're at. Nope, I don't. Snetterton. I think it's Snetterton. So hopefully we'll have a good turnout for that, for our first race of season 20. See you then. Bye now.